Hey, did you all enjoy the music today? I decided that it would be good to have some music to start off the training moving forward. Okay, so it was quite a chirpy ukulele music that I selected. Just 2 minutes while we wait for more people to come in also. Okay, so let's get started officially now. Welcome to our circuit training. Also our last training for the month. Okay, so tomorrow onwards, Labor Day, I won't be working. Okay, so for today's training, we'll be covering shortlist and compare. Some of you might already have attended the other one called location scan and compare. Why is it that I separated it why is it that I repeated compare again? Is because these two tools, same thing, location scan with compare and shortlist with compare, they work hand in hand. So I figured that it would be important to also highlight again the functions of compare when you are using the shortlist tool as well. Okay. Now, just a quick disclaimer, and then let's go. So, for those of you all who are still new to our training online, or maybe new to us, these are our account managers. Okay, so we have our three beautiful Powerpuff Girls, Celeste, Zuki, and Sherry. They are in charge of different agencies. So you can see on the slide right now, we have different agencies tagged to each of the account managers. So depending on which agency you are from, they would be the best person for you to look for. Okay. Of course, you don't just look for them only when you want to sign up or renew. But if you do need help, okay, whether it is which tool should you be using, or hey, I'm coming across some technical issues, something's not loading properly, they would be the best person to look for. Okay, of course, sometimes they are having their appointments, they are on a call, or maybe they are just very busy rushing something. The alternative number to contact is our office hotline. So you can see it on the top left hand corner, 62328688. Of course, the office hotline is bounded by the office hours, so it's 9 to 5 p.m. Anything after that, you will still have to reach out to your account managers, okay? Now, next thing would be for all of you, our training attendees, we will be having a 20% off Pro Tools and or prop points. So it is anytime from now until 6 p.m. You will be eligible for this 20%. For those of you who are existing Pro Tools subscribers, you can enjoy this discount as well if your account is expiring within the next 3 months. Okay. As for those of you who just want to top up your prop points, no problem. There's no limit or there's no requirement in terms of the timeline. Okay, so you can just top up accordingly with the 20% off. Okay. Same thing, contact your account manager for more details. They will be sharing the promo codes, etc. Later as well in the live chat. So all our three account managers, I believe all of them are with us right now in the live chat. So if you need to reach out to them, you can just call. Okay, just type their name and they will be able to see it as well. Okay, now let's get started with today's training proper. I will need you guys to go to the web browser, either Google Chrome or Safari, and go to the website called EdgeProp.sg. Okay, so we will be using the website browser to go through the training. Of course, do take note that you can also find the shortlist and compare function in the app, just that maybe in terms of the way it looks like and the interface, it may be slightly different, okay, because the app, smaller screen and all that, okay, but the functionality should be more or less the same. Okay, so I will need you guys to log in as agent. If you have not done so, quickly go and log in, okay? Log in as agent, and I will need you to log in. If you have a Pro Tools account with us, your username is always your mobile number. Your password by default would be your mobile number, but if you never change it before, or if you change it before, it will be your own password lah, okay? And for those of you who are new to us, welcome. do use our training account so that you'll be able to have full access to all the tools functionality. Okay, so same thing, login as agent, but instead of your mobile number, the username would be Melody Training, and today's password is Bunny. Okay, so you can only access this today lah. Tomorrow onwards, I would change to another animal or something. Okay, so once you are successfully logged in, you should see something like that on the screen right now. So some of you might be on laptop or the bigger screen device, and it should look more like the one on the left. Okay, if you're on your mobile device, because all the buttons are collapsed together, when you click on the button with the three lines, you should see your photo or your name somewhere. Okay, so that would mean that you are successfully logged in. Okay, now just before we get started on the tools itself, I just want to share a little bit on a new product that we have. It is called EdgeProp Plus. This is actually a product that is designed more for developer, but you can make use of it to sell your properties. Okay, so developer pay the money and you can use the virtual tours to reach out to your clients. Okay, so over here what you can see is we have two, let me shift this, we have two QR codes here. Okay, so the first one is actually, let me click this. Okay, the first one is actually the link to the full list of virtual tours that we have. So we have more than 20 of the current show flat virtual tours right now on our website. So you can scan that and explore the virtual tours that we have. And the second thing, in fact, it is happening right now, but don't switch channel. Okay, the other one is actually live virtual tour. So it will be guided by the industry professionals. So usually it will be the developer's own representative or the project ICs who would be guiding you. So there will be someone talking who would be guiding you in the show, from the show flat all the way to the show unit. Okay, and then they will basically help you to do the selling lah. Okay, so do check both of these out, and then it would be very useful, especially during this circuit breaker period when you can't go down to the show flat itself. So make use of technology to reach out to your clients, and hopefully you can just close the deal right there. Because I actually heard that someone really did close the deal through our virtual tour. So do make full use of it. Okay, next thing, let me shift my picture back. Oopsie. Okay, shift it back. Okay, now next one would be the official live demo now. So I will be going to the website. Okay, I'll be on the website right now. So to get to the tool called Shortlist, basically click on the tools button on the top of the toolbar here. Okay, and look for Shortlist projects and transactions. So this tool over here basically allows you to shortlist projects. That means you want to know what are the projects within a district that meet your client's requirements, or you can also get hold of all the transactions that happen in that project, in that district, that is according to the filters that you have selected. Okay, so I'll be going through what you can do with that. But I've decided that I would want to go through compare first before shortlist. Okay, so that you'll be able to see it a little bit better. Okay, so we will go with to compare projects first. I'm just going to click on this right now. Okay, so when you are in compare, basically this is where you generate a comparison report for your client. Okay, so on the top here you can see that you can compare any property type. Okay, even landed, commercial and industrial. Just take note, if you are comparing landed, it must be an estate, okay, or if it has a project name, you can do that as well. So you can't put in the street name for landed, okay, because there would be too little transactions to make it to make the comparison meaningful. So what you can do is to put in the estate name, for example, Serangoon Garden Estate, okay, instead. So we will be looking at a compilation of, or a combination of different streets within the estate, okay. Same thing if you are looking at commercial and industrial, depending on whether there's sufficient transactions, you may or may not be able to put in the street name, okay? So do take note on this. But very commonly, I think most of you would be comparing the HDB or apartment condo. So for HDB, all you need to do is just to put in the address, the block number, and the street name. And for condo, you need to put in the project name, okay? So one thing to take note, when you go to compare directly, so you don't use other tools, you go to tools and you straight away go to compare. This is when you already have the project names on hand already, okay? So maybe today you have a client and your client says that, oh, I am considering between project A, B, or C, or I'm considering between estate A, B, or C. Yes, you can come to compare directly and key it in directly, okay? So let's say I want to compare Pandan Valley, okay? So I'll just type it in. While I'm typing it in, there should be a drop down by then, and you're supposed to click on the correct drop down. Okay, so let's say I want Pandan Valley. I click on the drop down. It will add it to the portfolio. Okay. So if let's say I want to compare with another project, okay, same thing. I just rinse and repeat. So let's say I want Loyang Valley. Same thing. Click on the drop down and add it to the portfolio. So how many can I add? Maximum 10. Okay, but we do not recommend so many. Because the more options that you're giving to your client, it also means a lot more explanation why this project and not the other, okay? So you should have done your homework by then and select about 3 to 5 for comparison, okay? But the function allows you to compare up to 10, okay? So let me put in another 2 more just for the sake of it. So this is a rare situation. I don't think anyone would compare in this manner, okay? So over here, what you can see is the 4 projects that I key in, okay? They are all valleys, but they are all in different location, okay? So this is what I'm trying to bring across to you. When you go to the tool called compare directly, you can put in any project or any estate. It does not need to be in the same location or district, okay? So you can see I have one in west, one in the east, one in the not so east, and then one in the center, okay? So you can type in as many as you want, up to 10, okay? Now, next thing is the time period. So when we do comparison, what we want to look at is the performance of the property, okay? So when you select the time period here, what we are looking at is the performance of all these projects based on this time period that you have selected, okay? Now, next thing is the subtype, okay? So if I've already selected condo, actually, in most cases, you don't need to select the subtype anymore, okay? Now, another thing would be the size. So if your client is looking at a specific size range, then we would want to input the size, because that would affect the results later, which will show you the per square foot based on the transactions that happen for these size range only, okay? But if you are looking at the project as in a general manner, there's no need to put in the size, okay? Next thing would be the chart type. So later we will have a comparison report with different charts, and you can select the type of chart that you prefer, okay? The one that is easier for you to understand, easier for you to explain, okay? So I'm just gonna stick to vertical bar for now. And you can even choose to have the prices in per square foot or in quantum, okay? Lastly, you can actually do a ranking of the projects that you key in. based on the key performance indicator that is important to your client. So that means to say, if I am serving a investor, investor would probably be looking either at the rental yield, rental capital gain, or rental volume. Okay. So depending on what is important, some of them would say that, oh, I rather have a lot of rental activity, confirm there will not be any vacancy. Okay, then maybe rental volume will be more important. Okay, if they want something that can give them a better yield, then you can select rental yield. So you can choose from highest to lowest, lowest to highest. What the ranking does, let me show you now. So I'm going to click on refresh portfolio here. Okay. So over here, these four projects are currently ranked by average price. You can see that there's a little caret over there. So it is ranked from lowest to highest, but you can also click on it again to bring it from highest to lowest, or you can click on any of the other headers to rank it by the other indicator, okay, or even you want to rank it by A to Z, or by the project name, the tenure, completion year. You can do that as well, okay. But of course, when it comes to ranking, I guess it is more important if you have a lot of projects in your portfolio. If not, if it's just four, maybe not so important or not so necessary lah. Okay, so if let's say I want the one with the highest rental yield, the one would be Loyang Valley. Okay, because it's cheap and yet they can give a decent amount of rental in turn. Okay, of course, most of it are pretty much quite close, you can see here, even though the price point can be quite different. Okay, now next thing, you also have the price comparison. So all of these are actually interactive when you're on the website itself. You can choose to take out or put in certain parts of it on the top here. Okay, you can mouse over, and if you would like to download the individual charts, you can do so by clicking on the button on the right hand side, square button with 3 lines, and you can actually print or download the file, okay, as an image. Of course, once you download it as an image, it will no longer be interactive, of course. Okay, so if you wish to capture the mouse over effect, the other best way is really just to do a screenshot. Okay, now we also have the same thing for the rental comparison. Same thing, it is interactive. You can choose to remove or put in certain parts, and you can download the individual charts. Now next thing, we also have the historical price range and volume. So you can move along the chart, and you'll notice that sometimes it has transactions for all projects, sometimes there isn't. This one here didn't have any transactions in April and May apparently. Okay, so this timeline over here, which is April 2019 to March 2020, this is the timeline that we are looking at when we put in the time period here. Okay, so if you change the time period on the top, the chart over here along the price trend would be adjusted accordingly. Same thing, all the headers are interactive. You can choose to take in or remove or put in if you want to, and you can download the individual charts. Now, lastly, we have the transactions, sales transactions down to up to the most recent 100, okay, and down to the unit number, type of sale, unit area, type of area, price, and quantum. Okay, so we have the sales transactions as well as the rental contracts as well. Okay, so all of these, if I scroll back up, okay, you would be able to print it to PDF. So it will open a new window that allows you to print the report in a PDF format. Okay, of course, while we are waiting for it to load, you can also adjust the chart, and then the report will be according to what you selected. Okay, So this is how my report looks like. I have my picture and my details on the top. Of course, if it is your own account, you should be able to see your details. I'm using a laptop right now and I'm able to download or print this report. Of course, depending on your device, the functionality might be a bit different, but this is a PDF document, okay? So you should be able to save it into your device, okay? So all of these that we have shown you earlier, they are now in a comparison report. So the objective of this report really is to round down or to zoom down to the projects that your client is most interested in. From there, what we would recommend is really to print the research, the whole report under research for these projects as well. Okay, so we would do an overall comparison, but if you want to zoom down to the trends, the transactions, the nearby amenities, everything else, you need to use the tool called research. Okay, where can you find it? Let me zoom out a little bit. It is under this section called research. Okay, it is under free tools, but with your paid Pro Tools account, you will have the full access down to all the transactions and all the unit numbers. Okay, now next thing, when do we use the other function? So let's say I don't know the project names here. My client is asking me, can you help me find a property within a particular district or districts, okay? Or maybe he has no location in mind. He just wants to know which project, based on the whole of Singapore, which project has the highest rental yield or highest capital gain. What you do is to use the other tool called Shortlist Projects and Transactions. Okay, so if you are going by district, we will use the Shortlist Projects and Transactions. On the other hand, if you have a client who wants a property near a certain landmark, oh, I want to be near Sengkang MRT, or I want to be near Raffles Girls Primary School, or I want to be near my Ama's house, and then of course Ama have an address lah, okay? That one you will be using the other tool called location scan. Hopefully you already attended our training on that. If not, we will have another session coming up in May for location scan, okay? But for today's purpose, let's click on Shortlist Projects and Transactions. Jian Wei, okay, since you requested, let me I'll show you later, okay? I'm now at the other tool called Shortlist. The difference really when you use Shortlist is that you are trying to select the projects that you want to compare, okay? So when you go to Tools, Shortlist, you don't know the project name. But if you go to compare directly, you should already know the project name, okay? Now, okay, I'll come to that later. I'll repeat on how to generate the report again. So I am in shortlist now. So remember, when I'm in shortlist, I am looking for projects within a district, okay? So here you can, when I click on see all, you can see that the whole of Singapore, District 1 all the way to 28 have been selected, okay? So if you have a client who has no idea which district or no preference, you can even do a search by the entire or the whole of Singapore, okay? But if, let's say, they say that, oh, I would like to buy the central region, maybe District 9, 10, and 11, all you need to do is deselect all and select the district that they are looking at, okay? It can be one district, it could be a combination of districts as well, okay? Now we go back to the top here. What we are looking for are projects. So later I will explain what transactions is. So when we shortlist projects, we want to know which projects we want to recommend to our client, right? Okay. Same thing, the time period is similar to the compare function just now. All the key performance indicators that we will have in our results will be based on the time period selected here, except for one of it called capital gain. Okay, same thing for compare. Later, let me explain that a little bit more. You can select, you can search for any property type Of course, during our training, in most cases, we use apartment condo. But if you are helping your client search for a HDB, landed, commercial, or industrial, you can also use this function. Okay. Now, of course, when you select the property type, the subtypes will be refreshed accordingly. And you can even look at the type of sale. So if I want to know the new sales, the developer sales that happen, okay, I only want to base the performance on the new sales. You can do that also. Okay, same thing, you can put in the budget of your client, district I mentioned earlier. You can also choose to rank them by what is important to your client. Okay, and you can even look at the tenure, the age, the size. Okay, so because when you are searching by entire districts or the whole of Singapore, there will be a lot of projects that meet your requirements. So you might want to scale down a little bit or narrow down by selecting the tenure, the age, or if you want to be only looking at transactions of a certain size, you can put it in here as well. Okay, same thing, you can show the prices in per square foot or quantum. Okay, so I'm just going to do a very basic one. I'd like to know, based on the last 12 months, which are the apartment condos, okay, in District 9, 10, 11, which that has the highest rental yield. Okay, I'm not concerned about the tenure, the age, the size. Okay, so I'm just going to click on Shortlist. Okay, so over here, usually what happens is if you scroll to the bottom, it will indicate the number of results. The maximum number of results that we will show at one point in time is 200. Okay, so usually if you go by districts, you should end up with many pages of results. Okay, so in this case, when you are using Shortlist, it is important now, unlike compare just now, it is important to rank by what is important to your client. You're not going to want to look through all 200 results, right? Okay. Now, okay, so I've generated this result here already. Currently now I'm looking at District 9, 10, 11, the ones with the highest rental yield. So you can see over here when I mouse over rental yield, over here, there is a little caret pointing downwards to say highest to lowest. Of course, I can click on it again to go the other direction if I want to. And similarly to compare, all of these headers here, you would be able to do your sorting or filtering. Okay, now just now I have mentioned that most of these here, of these key performance indicators are based on the time period you selected. So for instance, I have selected last 12 months here. How do you read these? So based on the last 12 months, this project Jia has only one sales volume. Okay, so whole year they only sold one unit. Okay, and the minimum average maximum price in this case, because only one unit, is the same. Okay, so this is the PSF for this one sales volume. What about rental? We are looking at 9 rental volume, and this is the PSF per month, per square foot per month, on average, minimum and maximum, okay, based on these 9 transactions. And how do we work out the rental yield? Okay, usually rental yield is based on the purchase price and the amount of rental that unit is getting. Okay, but now because we are not looking at a specific unit, what we do here is we look at the average price here and the average PSF to work out this rental yield. Okay, so we take the rent times 12 months and then we divide it by the price to work out the rental yield here. The only thing that we are not using the time period selected above to work out is the capital gain. Okay, because capital gain can only really be calculated when there is a sale that happened, okay, and it highly depends on when they bought it as well. Okay, so what we do is to have the capital gain based on since the first transaction all the way until present time. Okay, so capital gain is not based on the time period that you select. Okay, now, so over here, your job really is to look at all these numbers and decide which are the projects you want to recommend to your client. So for example, I don't think you would want to recommend the first one. Why? Okay, so total there is, for the whole year, there is only one transaction. Maybe no one is selling. Okay, and you can see over here the number of units is also very little. This is a very small project. Okay, in terms of rental volume, about half of them are already renting out. So if I'm an investor, I want to buy this project, I would, maybe half of the units are actually owned by investors. So there's some form of competition here as well. Okay, but of course the rental yield is pretty decent. So of course it still depends on whether there are more units available for sale. Most importantly here, because if you see that there's the whole year only one transaction, likely there's no one selling. So you wouldn't want to recommend this project to your client if there's no units for sale, right? Okay, so all these buttons here of the project names, when you click on it, it actually loads the report, the home report for that particular project. Okay, it's basically a shortcut to research. Okay, now let's look at the second one. Okay, so same thing, all the sales volume are pretty low. So you might want to find those with slightly higher sales volume or sales or rental volume. But do also take note the number of units lah. Okay, so you need to know the percentage that is for rent and the percentage that was sold within a year. Okay. Now, okay, so looking at all these numbers, basically those with very low sales volume or very low rental volume may not be as attractive. Okay, so your job, look at all these numbers in totality, and you would need to check those boxes that you want to recommend to your client. Okay, so by default we have selected the first 10, but if you remember what I mentioned earlier, we do not recommend for you guys to give your clients so many options, because sometimes when there's project 1 all the way to 10, they don't know how to determine which is better. So it would be your job, or better with your professional knowledge, to select what you think is a better deal. Okay, so let's say I select all 10. Okay, I can click on compare selected project. This is a shortcut to the tool that we used just now called compare. Okay, so when I click on this, what happens is I am now loading the tool called compare. So exactly what we went through just now, but the portfolio would be filled up. So what you do, right, for example, so let me remove this. Let's say I want to check all these. Okay, compare selected project. Okay, so over here, immediately you can see that the portfolio is already added in for you. So you do not even need to type in the project names. Okay, so you can select up to 10 if you want to. And what I want to highlight is, so remember all these are based on the district that I have selected just now. But if let's say your client still has other projects in mind, you can still add it in manually. Okay, so if I still want to add my Pandan Valley, I can still do it. If I still want to add in my Loyang Valley, I still can do it as well. Okay, maximum 10. Okay, so answering the question from Jian Wei just now, to print the report, okay, to download the report, it is this button here, print to PDF in red color. Okay, now same thing, all of these you can fill in accordingly. Let me just try another one called horizontal bar. Okay, just for you to see, and then I will change it to quantum. Okay, I'm just going to refresh the portfolio here. Okay, so over here you can see on the top few are the ones that I have. There are some that were from the district that I selected, and then Loyang and Pandan Valley was manually added. Okay, same thing, all these headers here, you can rank them by. Okay, and now my chart is in the horizontal chart type. Of course, you can choose which one you prefer, and you can print it to PDF on the top. Okay, so this is how you can use compare directly, or you can use shortlist and then to compare. Okay, now let me see. Could be okay. The question with, let me see, quite a bit of question. Okay, let's see. So I have Bill Chiang. Any way I can find the unit type, as in the room number of 1, 2, 3 on a condo or HDB. Okay, over here you will not be able to know how many bedrooms per se. So the only way is really by the unit size. Okay, because if you look at it, the size change in the recent years. Long time ago, maybe a 2-bedroom is 1,000 square feet. But nowadays, a 2-bedroom can be as small as 500 square feet. So we figured that it would be better to input the size rather than the number of bedrooms. Okay, but we do hear your some of the feedback that you guys prefer bedrooms as well. So we have already feedback that to our management. Maybe we would implement it, I don't know. But as of now, not yet lah. Huh? Okay. Let's see. For the HDB, I think you can select the bedroom type. Let me just quickly take a look. So if you select HDB, you can actually select the subtype here. Okay, so slightly different. If you are looking at HDB, you will be able to select 1 room, 2 room, 3, 4, 5 room, executive or jumbo. So that is the difference with HDB. Also, please share the link for virtual tour. Later, I'll share with you guys again, okay, the link for virtual tour. If not, maybe one of you guys, my account managers, can you all help me with that? Okay, next thing, Jeanette, can we classify them like all projects that TOP in year 2019 or 2020, 2021? Okay, there is a way for you to use Shortlist to find out the projects that are going to TOP soon. Okay, we will not have the year of completion per se until it is truly reported by URA as completed. If not, it will just show as uncompleted. Okay, but there is a way. Later, let me show you guys. Okay. Sound like the 9 rental volume could be repeated listing? No. So take note, when we are looking at shortlist or when we are looking at compare, we are not looking at listings. Okay, we are not helping our clients look for listings. What we are doing here is we want to know how these properties are performing already based on transactions, sales transactions, rental transactions. So all these already happened. Okay, these are true volume, transacted volume. Okay, so these are not listings. So when I see 9 rental volume, it is 9 transactions for that project that already happened. Okay. Kenny, the enclave at Holland has no mention of units. Any reason? Okay, sometimes we will not be able to get hold of the number of units. I don't know why really. But what we'll do is, because we are trying to improve our database, so moving forward, we will try and add in as much information as possible. Okay. The only thing do take note is for the completion year, until the project has completed, then we will show. If not, it will be listed as UC or dash. Okay. Can we draw graph? If you want to generate graph, the tool that you should be using is market trend. Okay, so when you are using shortlist or compare, the trends and all that, or the tables, all these are fixed already. Okay, they are fixed based on whatever chart, whatever filters that you put in. But if you want to have your own trend lines for specific districts, property type and all that, you need to use the tool called market trend. Okay, so do check out our next training on market trend, because that will be another topic on its own. Okay, uh, Mi Hong can add description like high floor. Mi Hong, this is not listing. Okay, I repeat again. All these are not listings. What you are doing here is to find out the performance of these projects. Okay, then if you, let's say you say that, wow, this project doing very well, the rental yield very high, capital gain very high, a lot of sales and rental volume, then you, from there you recommend to your client. Okay, but if you are looking for, if you want to put description, I'm assuming you have a listing there, then that would be creating your own listing. Okay, so it's not this tool already. Take note. If you need help, look for your account manager. They'll be able to assist you on how to do your listing. All right. Okay, able to compare district. Okay, Mel, if you want to compare district, you should be using market trend as well. Okay, here we are just zooming down to the, yes, we are looking at district, but we are looking at the projects within the district. How are they performing? Or we are looking at the transactions within the district, which I'll be touching later. But if you are looking at the trends, you want to know, hey, is this district doing better than the other one? You should be using market trend. Okay. Mi Hong, no, this one is not for adding description and all that. Nothing to do with listings. Okay. Cheng Choi did HP app, handphone app can do this. Okay, for shortlist and compare these two tools, you can use the app. Okay, but take note that the interface is slightly different, so you might need some help to understand how it looks like. Okay, but the functionality is inside the app. Okay. All right, so now let's go through one more portion, which is the transactions. So other than trying to find out the projects within the district that match your client's requirements, you might also want to see the transactions that happen. Okay, so same thing, you can select any property type. Let's say I want to see the transactions in district 9, 10, 11. Okay, I'll just keep everything the same and then I do a short list. The results would be very different. So here I'm looking at district 9, 10, 11 last 12 months. Okay, so you can see over here every month there's a number of transactions, there's change, transaction value, change, minimum, average price. Wow, the rain very big. Can you all hear the thunder? Okay, then of course maximum price and all that. So what is all this? Okay, firstly, just to make it easy for you to understand, we look at April first. Okay, April 2020. As of now, we are looking at 107 transactions that were caveated. What is the change? It is the change by the month. Okay, so the month earlier was 116, and then now it became 107. So there was a drop of 7.8% in terms of the number of transactions. The same goes for all these. So these 107 transactions that happened in April 2020, the total value, the total property price, when you add up all the price transaction, right, it is 255 million. Okay, and then same thing, there was a drop from the month earlier of about 17.8%. What are the prices we are looking at? On average, district 9, 10, 11 is looking at a average PSF of 2205 and then per square foot, and then there was an increase in the average pricing on a month-to-month basis. So from 1009 it became 2002. So there was a price increase of 12.4%. Okay, so this is how you look at this. You can click, oops, you can actually click on all the, oh, I clicked over, shifted my thing. Wait, let me try again. So you can actually click on all these monthly transaction breakdown to see the actual transactions that happen in that month. Okay, so let me just repeat what I did. So I just did a shortlist transactions, last 12 months, looking at 9, 10, 11. Okay, I didn't change anything else. Okay, so back to April, I can click on the bar here. Okay, I can click on April 2020 and it will zoom into that particular month. So in the month of April 2020, just now there were 107 transactions, right? Out of the 107 transactions, the one with the highest number of transactions is Copa at Newton. Okay, which district is it from? It's from District 9. 10 year, 99 years, total 75 transactions, transaction value I mentioned before. This 75 transactions times plus the prices all add up together would be 1115 million, 115 million, and the average PSF is 2248. Okay, and you can click on it further to drill down to the actual transactions. So over here, you can see the transaction date, the caveated date, the unit number, whether it's apartment, condo, landed, or whichever, tenure, type of sale, all these are developer sales, the unit size, okay, whether is it strata or landed, the per square foot, as well as the quantum. Okay, so over here you can see I have generated a few things already. From overall, okay, I clicked on the month, and then I clicked on the particular project transactions. Okay, so you can actually generate more by clicking on the different months. Okay, now if I click print to PDF, what happens? Let me close all these. Okay, when I click print to PDF, oopsie. Okay, what will happen is it will show you all these in a PDF document. Hopefully it's okay. What happened? Okay, so all these will be in a PDF file. Okay, let's see one more time. I cannot, then I give up already. Okay, let me inform my IT on that. But this is what you can do, okay, for all the different tabs. Okay, now next thing, so this is basically for transactions, and you can do quite a number of different combinations, okay, to get different kind of results. Okay, so just now I think somebody was asking me about the projects that were going to TOP. Okay, let me bring you guys to my slides. I will show you some samples on what you can do with Shortlist. Of course, you can make your adjustments accordingly to what your client wants. Okay, so let me just go to this, back to my slides. Okay. Okay, so I'm at my slides now. Just a reminder on what we have went through just now. So you can use all these, you can key it in directly for compare up to 10, recommended 3 to 5. But if you don't know the project name, you should be using Shortlist or Location Scan. Okay, Shortlist would be by district. This is the comparison report, and this is Shortlist. Okay, so you can select by the district, or if you had keyed in HDB as the property type, it will be by the HDB town. Okay, now, so these are some samples on what you can do if, let's say, you want to achieve certain results. So for example, if I want to know which apartment condo is reaching their TOP soon, okay, so I will select shortlist projects, not transactions, projects. The time period, I will backdate 3 years. Okay, so example, this year is 2020. I want to look 3 years, those that are going to TOP soon, I will be looking at January 2017 to December 2017. Okay, this is basically assuming that the project takes about 3 years to build per se. Okay, so you can also look at so you select the property type and the type of sale. You need to look at only new sales. Okay, then you select the district that you're looking at and you put in the age 0 to 1. Okay, so anything that has not been built yet or halfway would fall under 0 to 1. Of course, if the project after that the results, if you see that the completion year is there already, that means it's already completed. Okay, but if you see it's UC, likely have not completed. Or if you look at this note here, sometimes the developer may not have reported it to URA yet, so it will still state as UC. Okay, sometimes it's TOP already, but still stated as UC. But once URA has the submission from the developer, it will change to the year of completion. Okay. Next thing, which condo with the shoebox unit have the best rental yield? So just now I think we went through how you can rank by the rental yield and all that. What is interesting is here we incorporated one more function, which is shoebox. Okay, how do we do that? By setting the unit size 0 to 500. Okay, so you can actually play around with the different filters to actually tell you how to do your shortlisting. Okay. Okay, so this is another one. Some of you might be familiar that in order to work out the seller stamp duty or to find out which unit has SSD, you can use our other tool called Tower View. Okay, but in that case, you have to go into that project already and you need to basically look at the different units to see how much SSD these units likely have to pay. Okay, but if you do not know which projects per se, you just want to know in this whole district which units are going to reach the end of their SSD. This is what you can do here. Okay, so you can shortlist transaction, not project. Shortlist the transaction. We want to know transactions that happened 3 years ago. So anything that is reaching 3 years would be reaching the end of their seller stamp duty. Okay, because as of now onwards, actually all the seller stamp duty are now 3 years, no more 4 years already. All those that were on the 4-year scheme have already completed their SSD. Okay, so same thing, you can put in the property type and the district, and you can click in further to see the breakdown by the condo name and the unit number. So just like what I showed you just now. Okay, and then you can also do this, which BTO is reaching their MOP. Okay, if you are familiar, we have another tool called HDB MOP. Okay, but over here you can also do something similar. This time round you shortlist the projects, set the time period to the last 12 months, and then you can select the HDB town and set the age 0 to 5. Okay, so basically once you see that the HDB age passes the 5th year, then they would have already completed their MOP, right? Okay, so we look at it in a different manner. Okay, another one is to identify the transactions with profit or loss. So if you remember earlier, when I shortlisted by transactions, okay, by last 12 months, I would be able to see the plus percentage and the minus percentage. Okay. Now, okay, let me answer some Q&A before we proceed to the quiz. All right. Let's see. Why I don't have the button to select the district? Clifton, are you in shortlist? Okay, shortlist, you should find the district button. Let me show you guys again. Let me go back to the website. okay, if you are at Shortlist, okay, Shortlist, you should have the See All button under District. Of course, if you selected HDB for the property type, then the district will become HDB Town, okay. I think most of it Loki answered already, right? Okay. Sam, can email the slides? Yes, can. Okay, so later on, I will put the slides into my Google Drive and I will send the link to my account managers. They will share it with you guys, okay? So just reach out to your account managers to get hold of the slides. Cindy Chua, short list compare can be used for shop houses in, I don't know what is LUCING. Okay, but if you're looking at HDB shop houses, no, we don't have any info on HDB shop houses. We only have info for private shop houses. Okay. So, is there any more questions that you all have for me? If not, we can proceed to the little quiz that I have for you guys. Okay. If you have any more questions, you can put it in the live chat right now. If not, what you can do is go to menti.com and use the code 131179. Okay? Let me go and close the window. Very noisy. I'm shouting already. Okay, any more? Okay, so let's wait for more of you guys to join us. If you have joined us before, you will know menti.com. This quiz is pretty fun. And most importantly, there is a prize for the top 5 people who score the highest points. Okay, so today very good. Slightly lesser people, so you got a higher chance to be in the top 5. Okay, another thing is what are you going to get if you are in the top 5? You will be getting a reusable cutlery set worth $12.90. We will mail it to you. Okay, so that means to say if you win later, uh, take a screenshot of your icon and the number of points that you got, send it to your account managers so that they can verify and arrange to mail you the gift, okay, the prize for winning the top 5, okay. Okay, so remember, go to menti.com and use the code 131179, okay. Okay. Is there anyone still having trouble joining us? If not, I will start already. Let me start. So final call menti.com 131179. Okay, I am my 30. I'm gonna start already. Okay, let's go. Start quiz. 5 questions. The faster you are, the more points. Of course, you must be correct. So what is the maximum number of projects you can compare under the compare tool? Can you remember? I think I mentioned it quite a number of times. Okay, let's see. The answer is 10 and well done. Most of you got it correct. Okay, so maximum you can compare up to 10, although we usually recommend 3 to 5. So those of you who heard 3 to 5, you put 3 to 5. Technically, okay lah, half correct lah. Okay, let's see who's leading right now. We have SW, chocolate rice chip donut. You are the fastest, followed by Avenger, WP, Magical Rhino, and Carl. Okay, let's see the next question. Okay. 太可怕了. Okay, to compare landed properties, I can key in. This one, I don't know whether I got mentioned or not. Okay, so landed property, you do you put in the street name, do you put in a project name, or the estate name? This one not easy, ah. Okay, well done. The answer is all wrong. Okay, actually the answer is, what is it? Most of you got it wrong. 3 of you got it right. Okay, for landed, it is only project name or estate name. You can't put in the street name because it will there is too little transactions for the street, so it's very hard to compare. But I made a little mistake here, so you notice all the answers are wrong. Actually, the answer should be A and C. Okay, so the 3 of you, I'm sorry. Okay, let's look at the next question. Okay, so everyone wrong, nobody got extra points lah. Okay, shortlist. It allows me to identify projects and transactions by, is it district, location, vicinity, or all of the above? 3, 2, 1, ding. Haha, this one trick answer, trick question. Okay, let me explain. Shortlist you can only do by district. Okay, if you want to search by location and vicinity, you need to use the one called location scan. Okay, so immediately I know who's listening, who's not really. Who are the top 5 now? Let's see. Jane and WP got it right. And then we have SW, Avenger, Magical Rhino. Okay, Jane, you got it right. Well done. WP also. Okay, let's see the next question. I can identify which unit reaching the end of SSD using shortlist. True or false? This one I think giveaway lah. Did we go through something like that just now? Anyone can remember? Did I mention anything about SSD just now? Okay, still got people get wrong. Okay, most of you got it right. If you remember, I showed you my slides just now. If you want to find out which unit is reaching the SSD, based on district search, okay, you can use shortlist. Okay. Who is leading right now? We have, let's see, SW, Carl, M, David, Avenger. Wow, there's some changes in the names already. Okay, I think this should be the last question. The following are key performance indicators in shortlist except which one? Do you remember? Shortlist, Capital gain. Okay, actually only one person got it right, which is price trend. Okay, so if you remember, there's a table once we generate. We have the pricing. Let me show you on the chart here. So we go back to project. Okay, let me just show you what are they again. Okay, so we have the minimum, average, and maximum price. We have the sales and rental volume. Okay, we also have the minimum, average, maximum rent, rental yield, and capital gain. Okay, I think most of you remember capital gain because I mentioned that capital gain will not be based on this time period on the top here. Okay, capital gain will be based on the first transaction that was bought and sold all the way until current time. Okay, instead of based on last 12 months. Because if that last 12 months only one person sold and then it was a very big gain or a very big loss, then it would be, if it was reflected, then it wouldn't be representative. Okay. So actually one person got it right, but I'm sorry I can't award you points also. I forgot to put in the correct answer. Okay but most of you got it wrong anyway. Okay, so we have our winner. SW followed by Carl, the rabbit. Is a aeroplane. David and Avenger. Okay, the 5 of you, congratulations, you are our winners for today. So please get in touch with your account managers. Take a screenshot of something like what you have on my screen with your name, your icon, and your points, and send it to your account managers to claim your prize. All right. So thank you, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed today's training today. Wow, I also see out the thunder. I'm like screaming and trying to fight the thunder sound. Okay. Now, if there's no more other questions that you guys might have for me, let me just quickly review again our promo today. If let's say you are keen, okay, it will be 20% off Pro Tools and Prop Points, okay. Okay, 20% off Pro Tools and Prop Points. Please reach your account managers by 6 p.m. today, okay. For those of you renewing, your account must be expiring in the last 3 months. And the next one, just now somebody was asking about the virtual tour, so this is the one. Okay, let me shift my picture again. Ayo. Wait. Okay, so these are the 2 QR codes that you should scan. So do check out the virtual tours that we have for you. They are very professionally done. It really feels like you are in the inside the show flat itself. Okay, so the first QR code, the one on the top, will show you, I think, more than 20 of the current and most latest show flats in the market right now. And if you want to join our live virtual tour, we still have a few sessions today, and then also tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we are still working. Alamak, Labor Day still have virtual tour. So do register and join us. It's good sometimes to also see how the developers representative or the project ICs do their virtual tour. Okay, learn from them, and then moving forward, you can also do something similar for your clients. All right. Okay, Anna, you can, so if you want them to join the live virtual tour, what you can do is you can actually scan the QR code. There is a button that brings you to registration, or you can register yours, and then they will give you the link, and you can give the link to your client. Okay. So depends on whether you want the live virtual tour or the own self go and explore kind of virtual tour. You decide which one you prefer. Okay, so without further ado, thank you everyone. I hope you all learned something today. And I will see you guys next Tuesday. Okay, so next Tuesday we will have more trainings. In fact, we have trainings for the rest of the whole of May, all ready for you already. You can get the details from your account managers. I will also be putting them under the events page in the website very soon by today. Okay, and then you can register from there already. So I'll see you guys next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, for the weekly webinar trainings. Okay. Okay. Bye bye. Oh yeah. One more thing. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel. Okay, bye bye.